Four friends chase art and ambition in New York, yet one carries scars so deep they bend time itself. Beat. This is a story of brilliance, brutality, and the stubborn pulse of hope. A shimmering beginning. Friendship in the city. Imagine New York in the 90s, streets glinting after rain, possibility humming like a street corner saxophone. Beat. Into this charged airstride, four recent college graduates: Willem, the soft-spoken actor; JB, the audacious painter; Malcolm, a measured architect; and Jude, a reticent litigator with a limp and a gaze that rarely settles. Beat. Their apartment walls are thin, their wallets thinner, their dreams extravagant. They share takeout containers, thrift store couches, and the fantasy that talent alone can outrun failure. Beat. Yanagihara paints their early 20s in radiant brushstrokes. Gallery openings, downtown plays, late-night diners where promises are made over burnt coffee. Beat. It is in these golden years that a reader might expect a coming-of-age tale to linger. Instead, the brightness serves as counterpoint, a foil for the darkness that coils inside Jude like a dormant storm. Beat. We see slivers, the way he flinches when a cab door slams, how he wraps his legs in tape before bed, how he never speaks of childhood. His friends sense an abyss, but misread it as shyness. Beat. In this section, the novel explores emphasis, belonging, how young adults assemble chosen families to replace fractured origins. Yet every dazzling party is shadowed by an unspoken question. What happens when the past insists on following you home? Jude's secret history, wounds that refuse silence. As the quartet ascends, Willem lands a breakout role. JB's canvases electrify the art world. Malcolm designs glass towers. Jude's success as a litigator looks effortless. Beat. But success is only camouflage. In carefully metered flashbacks, Yanagihara unspools a narrative of near unimaginable abuse. Abandoned at birth, raised in a monastery where kindness curdled into exploitation, smuggled into sexual slavery by a counselor meant to protect him, trafficked along highways until a police raid offered a brutal liberation. Beat. Even that rescue left him in the hands of a doctor who cared but could not undo the damage to his spine, his psyche, his sense of self. Beat. These revelations arrive not in chronological order, but in emotional order, each memory triggered by a smell, a phrase, a touch. Beat. Jude's body is a palimpsest of scars. His mind, a courtroom where he is both defendant and judge, forever handing himself new sentences. Beat. We watch him refuse intimacy, cut himself to regain control, endure nightmares so vivid they spill into daylight. Beat. The storytelling raises the question of emphasis, agency. Can someone traumatized into believing he is unlovable ever claim ownership of his own narrative? Or does trauma become the author, drafting each new chapter in ink that never dries? Beat. Through Jude, Yanagihara confronts the limits of empathy. How much pain can friends witness before they look away, and what guilt follows when they do? The tension between love and irreparable damage. Mid-novel, love tries to stake its claim. Beat. Willem and Jude, best friends since college, cross an invisible threshold and become lovers, their bond tender yet fraught. Beat. Willem believes steadfastly that affection can mend what surgery, therapy, and time have not. Jude, conversely, wields self-loathing like a shield. He fears that any pleasure is a prelude to punishment. Beat. Their relationship is a study in contrasts. Domestic bliss in a country house, followed by hospital visits after Jude's self-harm episodes, whispered vows set against the silent roar of trauma. Beat. Around them orbit allies. Harold, the law professor who adopts Jude as a son. Julia, Harold's wife, who plants gardens as though flowers can stand guard. Andy, the doctor friend who patches Jude's body even as his advice goes unheeded. Beat. Each offers love, but love, Yanagihara argues, is not a panacea. Beat. The novel becomes a philosophical inquiry. Is there a threshold beyond which damage is, emphasis, irreversible? Does unconditional love demand the illusion that healing is possible? Or does it reside in standing beside someone even when it is not? Beat. The narrative refuses easy consolation. Every upward arc is followed by a plunge, mirroring trauma's cyclical nature. Friends age, careers peak. Yet Jude's despair remains monolithic, raising the moral stakes for everyone who cares about him. Hopes flicker, and the fragility of survival tragedy intensifies when Willem dies in a car accident, a twist that guts Jude's primary lifeline. Beat. The sudden absence is a vacuum into which memories rush, both good and horrific. Jude's sorrow, already oceanic, becomes tidal. Beat. He attempts to live for the sake of those who love him. Harold, now aging, Andy, exhausted, Malcolm and JB, changed by their own griefs. Yet the bedrock has cracked. Beat. Yanagihara charts Jude's deterioration with harrowing precision. The return to cutting, the withdrawal from professional life, the rehearsed assurances that he is fine. Beat. Even so, moments of grace persist. Harold reading aloud in the evenings, the scent of rain on new pavement, the small project of cataloguing Willem's photographs. Beat. These flickers pose the novel's final riddle. Is life worthwhile when beauty is intermittent and pain relentless? Beat. Jude's ultimate decision to end his life lands like a silence after thunder. Beat. The aftermath centers on Harold, who must reconcile love with the powerless knowledge that it was not enough. Beat. The story's closing pages insist on the dual truths of emphasis, fragility, and endurance. Human hearts break, yet those left behind stitch meaning from memory, carrying the departed into every tomorrow.